Hey YouTube, it is Matt with Olympus Reptiles. We're another clutch cutting. Let me tell you, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like I said it a lot. It is 2020, so I don't think anybody knows what the hell's going on. This looks odd. I'll just start there. So I checked these babies the other day. Nothing had pipped. Checked them today. I say the other day was yesterday. Actually, nothing had pipped yesterday. I knew today was going to be cut day no matter what. Like every egg's pipped, but nobody's out. They're just all mostly pipped. I can't see what's in all of them. We're gonna see it together, but a few of the heads are out, and one of them looks really crazy. You're gonna see in a minute. The other thing is, if the camera is gonna be a little weird today, that's because well, my normal use tripod, a leg broke off of it, and I haven't yet been able to replace it. Just time, etc., etc., etc. And so I'm trying to use my fancy one. We did get a fancy one a while back, and it just seemed like it was more trouble than it's worth a lot of times to use. It's got a battery that tends to die. So it's just, we're going to get through this, see how it goes. Maybe I'll end up liking it better. Maybe I'm just a creature of my habits. But, so we're going to work with that. Now, first of all, what was this pairing? So this is a pairing I was really excited about. It's kind of a scary pairing in a little bit. And what I mean was, so you remember last year we had the clown clutches, right? And the clown clutches were a total shit show, mostly because of the fact that I'm watching the little charge bar, see if this is going to keep on. Mostly because of the fact that everything came out kinked. We did not know our clown male was also het caramel. We had 4 possible het caramel females. We bred 2 of them last year, and boom. Well, so this is from one of our possible het caramel females. It is a caramel, or sorry, caramel caramel, same thing. I'm like going back from Southern Northern dialect here. It is a, so they're all possible het clowns, but they're also possible het caramel. We weren't breeding them for that. We were breeding them mostly just to try a male out and just to use a female, right? But we did throw our pastel lesser 100, our visual desert, pastel lesser visual desert ghost to it. And dashes are important. What did I do wrong on there? Oh, I must have messed something up on the title. I don't care. We did do 2018. There's no dash in that. That's what I'm about, because that is how people will be able to find the clutch number. So the 2018, there's no dash on purpose, because down the road, if somebody buys these bases down to 5, if they search Olympus Reptiles 2018, it's clutch 2018. You know, but it does look like it's the year, I guess. So it's 2020, 2018. But yeah. So maybe we should put a dash in there. Maybe make them search for the dash. Hell, I don't know. Anyway, we just put part of the serial number, because we don't actually put dashes in our serial numbers. It's just, I don't ever type them out. But maybe we did it on here. I just didn't remember paying attention. Okay, so anyway, here we go. So what we're expecting, of course, is pastels and lessers, and maybe some lesser pastels, all 100% het desert ghost, right? That was the expectation. If it was a retained sperm clutch, since I raise these females by hand, we would expect to see, when I didn't produce them, but I did raise them, we would expect to see, clown stuff, right? Clown stuff. So let's get in here, see what we got. Alrighty. One thing with this is it might actually work better on some aspects. We'll see. Ooh, someone knocked over. We're going to try this out. So the pairing was, and this is the one that's really strange, right down there. That looks weird to me. I don't have a clue what's going on. The pairing was one of our het clown to a pastel lesser desert ghost. So let's start. You can see they're all pipped. Let's just start here. Start working here. None of these were pipped yesterday. They're all pipped today. Oh, hi, I see a little nose. Wow. You just wanted to blow up out of there, huh? Now that looks like what we'd expect, telling us that, yes, the pastel lesser is the dad. Look at that. Boop, boop. Looks really good. Looks really good. Retained sperm, we'd see clown. I mean, it was just a clown. That would be the only thing that could have been used. So, yeah. And Jose, let me get through the cutting, then we'll take some questions. But it's really hard for me to do both. I already get scatterbrained enough, as some of the folks here can attest to. And again, just about like what you'd expect to see, right? Really pretty snake. Boop your snoot, get in there. I can't believe the ball python community has me saying things like boop a snoot. And again, we're just passed on the genetics looking rather fine. So, oh my goodness, that shouldn't be a cool feeling I say your name. I'm just a dude, man, I promise. Now, oh, see, this is interesting. Because that does not look like just a pastel. What in the holy hell is going on here? Look at that thing. Look at that. Oh man. That is, again, this has been a confusing set of females. And now on to the last one. Yeah, I'm telling you though, this to me does not look like straight pastel. Not at all. Not at all. And I've hatched a fair number of pastels. And I can tell you if that's a straight pastel, it is by far the nicest one that's ever existed on the planet. Um, now over here, see the difference in those two? Anyway, let's get on to this one. This is the one that's really confusing. I'm really interested in seeing some body of this one. Yeah, I know. You got your little head out there. And it's kind of stuck, right? And for those of you who are watching too, who are on Patreon, we did move the special for this month to a little bit earlier because of some people's Halloween scheduling. So we'll be doing it at 4 Central instead of 5. We did send an update on that post. I'm going to make your life better if you just give me a second. Well, stop fighting me. Okay, there you go. Holy shit. I don't know if you guys can see this. There you can. Ha! I'll be a son of a bitch. Look at that. So have you ever been bit while cutting eggs? I have never been bit while cutting eggs, no. Holy, I mean, guys, I'm at a loss. If anybody has a thought, I'm curious to hear it. Whoa! What in the world? See, and right there, I think is what happened was my my thing overheated, so I don't like this deal. I don't know. It's a pain in the butt. I'm about to get a normal one again. Does anybody have any ideas on what we're seeing here? Because my idea, I've got one, but it's pretty unbelievable. And, okay, this thing is dead. I was getting the overheat warning. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I'm not even holding the camera. It's supposed to be this device doing it. So the pairing, Emma, was going to be a het clown to a pastel lesser desert ghost. That's it. That's probably part of the problem, Chris, when you put some weights on the end. But, and then it's getting too warm and falling. So, that's pretty funny, James. All right. So, guys, I am totally serious. Does anybody have what they think this could be? I've never dealt with cryptic, so I would not know. Uh, and the only comment I saw from you, Nikki, was getting bit, and I've never been bit while cutting eggs. But that thing, I cannot wait till that crawls out. I'll tell you what it looks like to me. I'll be right back. Phone may fall over. Let's hope not. I'll let you keep looking at those eggs. That started to. Oh, I hate this stupid gimbal thing. Yeah. This is what it kind of reminds me of. Right there, huh? That's the sire. That's dad. I don't think it's dual sire. There's no clown in that. It would be like, say, straight clown. And the way a dual sire works is not that you're going to get... Come here, buddy. I know. I'm trying to get my phone out of here, too, so I don't lose this at the same time. Ah! Retained sperm. There's no way. So the reason I say there's no way is because, let me flip that around, is because she's only been bred to 2 males ever. Which 2 we bred last year and which 2 produced. So it is certainly, but that is a pastel lesser desert. It is certainly possible that, let me get that back off there. I'm going to get my old tripod and I have an idea. It ain't a good one, but we're going to see if it'll work. For the rest of us, as you can see, we went to a 2-leg tripod. So now that I'm done cutting, I think I can set you up on there and we'll be doing okay. Terrible, right? Ugh. No more falling over. Anyway, so what I'm wondering is if maybe our little oddball extra het snakes, if we don't have an extra het flowing around there, I mean, it really does look very much like, well, it almost looks like there's 2 strange ones in there. Everything else is pretty normal. And we would know everything to be visual, right? Or, no, I'm sorry, not visual. Het for desert goat. Everything lesser, definitely. Everything pastel, definitely. Because our clown male we would have used last year didn't even have any of that stuff. So what I'm wondering is it possible that we've got a het desert ghost going on too? And now that would be pretty wild. But that snake looks a lot like Dad. And that pastel looks really bright to the point of and craziness. Man, that thing looks good. I don't think that's clown in there anyway. And if it was clown, I mean, it would just, the best thing it could be would be a straight clown, and that damn sure ain't a straight clown. So as I'm trying to talk my way through this, don't mind me. I'll set those back up there. Oh, man. So, that's, yes, absolutely you can. Nick, when you get there, I'd love to show him too. Mom looks like a normal. I mean, I'm not even sure which one it is. I'm going through it because I think it's this one. I got several of these girls, but I mean, they all look the same, right? What's going on from Sweden? So yeah, it's just, yeah, right? Looks like, yeah, it does. And that's the thing, I mean, unless I broke down the wrong male and I used my Hold on. Maybe I did that. Is that possible? Let me look at something. Let me look at something. No, that is not possible. We have a pastel super inchy vanilla ghost. I thought maybe I just wrote down the wrong thing when I was writing ghost, but no, there's definitely less than a lot of that. So, I mean, it's just crazy. That's a crazy clutch. It's really exciting for me. So I'm really, really happy. I'm happy to get people here from Sweden. Sorry about this thing rocking. I will be on Amazon this week. I promise you get a new one of these. So, yeah, I know he's a father. You know, it's just he's got to be. He's got to be. Has it in there too. Well, I know my sire's a desert ghost. He's a visual desert ghost. Visual. So I know that it's there with him, but what I didn't expect was it to be here. So basically what we were trying to do is, I mean, we were just making some pastels and some lessers. I make way too many lessers. Pastels and lessers and lesser pastels, they're all 100% desert ghost. That's what we were after. And I did not produce either one of them. That is the fact of it. Now, the females, they look like you would expect them to look. So, yeah. That is possible. Maybe that's what we're dealing with, you know? Yeah. And I was wondering about that too. And it's a really weird thing. And part of it too is we're going to be wondering about it until these crawl out. We can kind of look at them a little more. You know, but that one pastel looks very, like, almost super pastel-like. So there could be something going on there. And then, of course, that other one looks just out of this world. So we'll have to do some comparisons there. I think the vanilla is probably a pretty good possibility. That I could see, or even the fire. I could see that. You know, and I think the telltale sign is probably going to be the other pastel. So, I wish, right? So if we can figure that out. But again, we're going to be in this game of what the hell is it? We may have to try to contact the guy we got them from and say, hey, you remember me? And the sad thing is, I mean, it was basically bred to it normal to separate out the genes and just to make some Het Desert Ghost stuff. So I did get the dad from Fireball. I got a couple from him, and I know he works with vanilla as well. And I know vanilla can hide in things. Is why I wonder if vanilla is not a possibility. Now, if that's in there, then all the better, right? All the better. Same with fire. If fire's in there, hey, all the better. You know, I'll take it. So this is true. Now, I would say with Fireball, I got no doubt the dude understands hets. Like, you know, he's been with it a long time. He knows what's up. That was visual, no het there. But the 4 het clown, possible het caramels, came way of to me through somebody else who picked up a group of stuff, right? So they bought a group, and we bought those 4, and we bought our clown. The clown came from a different source than the 4 sisters. They're all 4 sisters, and they were made from a caramel, like a visual clown pairing. So they're 100% het clown with a possible caramel. So it was bred to a het caramel. Now, that gave us these 4 100% het clown possible het caramels. So that's what we're dealing with. And then our clown male ended up being het caramel. So, yeah. Exactly. So on those, could there be extra things running around? Yeah, there absolutely could. I mean, who would know? It would be really strange, I think, to have a Het Desert Ghost running around. That was kind of where I was leaning at first, because it struck me that it reminded me of the father a lot. But as some people point out, could it be fire or vanilla? That kind of kicked me on thinking, hey, man, that's why I was asking you guys. Because like I say, you know, people always will say, oh, you know, you're the face on the screen, you must know everything. I don't know everything. I'm the first to admit it. You know, people definitely point it out to me a lot. I usually admit it on my own. So I think you guys might be onto something there, right? Yeah, who does know? I mean, it's one of them things. So sometimes you do get bonus genes, you know, and it's better as a breeder, whether you know, when you have something and you're not sure, It's better to err on the side of it not being there, I think, because it's always better for somebody to get the genes that, you know, they expect plus some. This is more fun than for them not to have the genes you told them was in there, right? So it's always better to err on the side of, you know, it's not there. Now, I do wish people would tell you, hey, it could also contain this, you know, or give you the pairing information with snakes. So that is one thing that we do. That's why we give that information. Is just for things like this. So that way, if I said, you know, this wasn't in there, but I had the pairing information that made the male snake I had, and I could look like, oh, it was produced by breeding this to this. This is probably my hidden gene. This is what's in there. So that's part of why we do the data sheets we do when we sell snakes to give to people. It's a pain in the ass, especially when you're at a show and you're selling animals. And, you know, people just want to give you money, take your snake and go. And you're sitting here filling out paperwork. It slows up what you're doing. I can make more money if I didn't do it, but I think it's really important for those folks to have that down the road. Are you going to crawl out there, little guy? That'd be pretty awesome. So, yeah, waiting games are fun. Right, exactly. Of course, that's what we were talking about. It makes up a big difference. I won't hold all of them back. No, we won't do that. As a matter of fact, my original plan was not to hold anything back from this clutch because I really don't want the possibility. Because everything in here, I have to say, is possible het caramel. I don't know if it's in there. You know what I mean? And that's what we'll probably start doing. But I have to say it could carry it. And so anything I breed from these offspring would have to be possible het caramel. So keeping them is really a little bit on the sketchy thing, right? But I probably will keep one. If that one really weird one's a female, or if the weird pastel one's a female, I could see myself keeping one or both, just to try to figure out what's going on. You know, I mean, they're just such cool little babies. You're cool little babies. I'm going to look at that cryptic too. Man, that is so wild. That is really wild. So, interesting. That's all I can really say about that clutch. Very, very interesting. But a lot of them will be available, and they are going to be 100%. What I can tell you is they're 100% het desert ghost. So you saw them, right? All right, guys. So cryptic is amazing and allelic to clown. That's really interesting. But in order for those to be cryptic, then I'm guessing cryptics, I don't know anything about cryptic, would be a recessive gene. So I'd have to have it on both parents. So that'd be a pretty long shot for I have two of them that are 100% het cryptic and not even be sold as a possible het. That'd be like a long shot. Not saying it's impossible, but it's you green. I don't know what you mean by green, but welcome. Instant replay. Nice. No, I don't think it could have a Krypton. Well, no, I guess it could. You're right, because it's het clown. I see what you're saying. Yeah, if the boy was het cryptic and unknown, then we could have a Krypton, which I'll have to kind of check that out. Because, yeah, wouldn't that be some shit right there? But man, that means that boy would be het for two things. No, one thing extra. Yes, right. How many snakes do I have? Shit, I don't even know anymore. Really? So see, these are things I'm not familiar with, because if that's the case, then maybe that's what's going on. If that's what's going on, that clears up some shit, and that's pretty awesome. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up now, because again, y'all taking me to school, which is good, because to sit here on camera and pretend that I know everything and that that would be a false. So I appreciate it, because I do not know a thing about what y'all are talking about on the cryptic and krypton. I'll have to get to it. So. Oh, the comments. Oh, you're talking about TikTok. So these don't know we do a TikTok now. We were gonna post every day. I just brought it every day. Got too much shit to do, right? And we do a lot of quick feed videos on there, little things, and You can tell if I make it or Kurt makes it, because Kurt will usually pick the very most popular music for reviews, and I tend to pick shit that I think's hilarious. So, and we don't have any adult females ready or available. We have a bunch ready, but none available. So you can always tell who made the video pretty easy, typically. But our first video, or one of our first video, took off. We have 14 million views on one. 14 million, right? Which is crazy. Most of them are in the Middle East, and it was just something we kind of tried to kind of see, you know? And all of a sudden, boom, it took off. So we kind of started feeding the beast. Just slowed down a lot lately because that one video kind of quit going crazy, but it is certainly fun. There's some baby snake videos on there, some adult snake videos, just some neat fun stuff. So go ahead and check that out if you're not on our TikTok. It's kind of interesting. Would I ever sell any adult females? So on that, Daniel, yes, I would. So, but it would depend. So like for me, there's no point in selling an adult female until my room's full. And then we might, you know, get off of there. Oh, on TikTok? Yeah, I don't give a shit about people on TikTok hate me or not. It's fine. So, bugs and peanuts. I know, right? I gotta be nicer to haters on TikTok out there, though. Apparently most of them are children. Who lets their children just run free on that crap, though? Anyway, so when I get it all the way filled, and then we would probably start to siphon off females, you know, if we had new holdbacks were growing up that were no longer going to fit into our plans, right? The thing is, you know, we're not there yet. And I'm always very leery of buying adult females, personally, because I always think, why is this person selling it? And I'll give you a prime example. Let's say I'm selling a big normal adult at about 2,000, 2,500 grams, right? Graziano, another ex-cop, really cool dude, by the way. So if I've got this female, it's 2,000, 2,500 grams, I'm selling her for $100. Why am I doing that? Let's say she produces 6 to 8 eggs, which would be normal at that size, and I throw some animals to her, I'm going to make way more per year than that, right? So why would I sell this animal for $100? So when you look at it from the business standpoint, you always have to question why somebody's doing it. I am a firm belief that a lot of times people will, you know, even if my room's full, I'm going to get rid of 2 things first, right? It's going to be to sell the things that produce the least and the things that produce, you know, the least genetically. So my normals, low production animals, animals that don't go every year, that will be the first things we push out as adult females. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you different, but I'm going to tell you something else. Everybody else does the same damn thing. That's what they do. I mean, it only makes sense from a business. Oh, it doesn't fit my plans. Okay, you're also getting rid of it because it's probably your least producing animal. That's just how it works. You know, so 5 of those eggs were slugs 2 years in a row. Is that one that you picked up as an adult? I might have missed that. So it's just something to consider when you're buying an adult female. You know, always ask why. I like people who say, hey man, my wife's pregnant, I don't have time for this shit, or whatever it is, right? That is usually a good sign to me that, hey, this is a safe purchase. You know, there's a reason why they're downsizing and getting to just certain projects that are near and dear to their heart. When you see a business my size or larger than me selling off adult females and they say, oh, I just don't have room anymore, ask yourself, what would they be getting rid of first? Their best females or not? It's pretty simple. So when we do sell adult females, we're going to be fully full disclosure on it. I wish others were, but I can tell you we will. So that's all I really can tell you on that. All right, anybody got anything else before I hop off of here and look up Cryptic and then go to, I'm going to look that up before I go to Patreon. I truly am. I'm just going to look it up on Google. I'm not going to watch a video on it because you guys will be waiting on me and be pissed off, right? Yeah, the King Toy Soul's a pet only, you know. And then I had the one with the cleft palate this year, which I'll show you that one. That one's doing really good. You know, we don't sell these off as, you know, hey, you should do this with it, you should do that with it. Where are you? No. There you are. Oh, you took a poop. Stinky poop. So just like this one here, you know, this is not an animal that I could in good conscience say is something I would sell and say is good genetically. Now everything looks like it's closed up. It looks really good, actually. And The thing about this one is, you know, now could I sell it as a pet? I sure could, but it needs to not be bred. It's got a couple things going on. One is, oh, yes, I noticed that too. Maybe three. I think its eyes are a little on the small side, and it also has the cleft palate. And then on this one, almost looks like the pupil's a little bit of a weird shape, like almost, I don't know, kind of strange. Could just be the lighting. But otherwise, it's a beautiful snake. It's eating, it's pooping, it's doing awesome. So what am I doing with this? I'm not even going to sell it as a pet because I have a little bit of a fear that somebody would breed this animal, and I don't want that to happen. Its genetics should not be passed on. Could have just been in development, could be perfect genetics, but shouldn't be risked, it shouldn't be done. So we're actually going to let my little niece, who's really into snakes, have this, and she's going to get to keep it as a pet for her. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Her mother, so her mom will be helping her take care of it. It's pretty cool stuff. So, oh, did I scare you? When I say niece, I should say it's my great niece. So her mother is my actual niece. So pretty cool. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. So you're right. We do a lot of that, fully disclosed. And I don't know if this is albino or Toffino yet. I think it's going to darken up. I think it's going to turn into Toffino. Not turn in, I think it is. The white just looks a little bit, doesn't show on camera, but dark, which is kind of a sign for what's going on. So you guys are going to come out of there. All right, guys, anything else before we hop over to Patreon? I'm going to clean your poop out of here. You're gross. Set you up there. I wouldn't be against getting a Volta. I got nothing against them. It's a regional thing, for those that aren't familiar with Volta. Did you see Olympus doing boas? Olympus, yes, I do see Olympus doing boas. As a matter of fact, Olympus is already doing boas. We just don't show the boas on camera very often because I am terrified of IBD, and so the boas are actually kept. It's a small project. We're not doing a ton of them, kind of like we're going to do carpets and things like that. It's nothing I'm in a rush to do. You know, are you going to crawl out and run away on me? Let's not do that. My niece would be really unhappy if you ran away. So it's trying to escape. But they're at Kurt's house, so it's just not close to film. See, there it goes. Little pig nose one. But we will be doing boas. Let me put this one back before I lose it. Come on. There we go. All right, guys. For boas, I don't remember what we got. We'd have to look. We probably need to add one or two more. All right, y'all. Once we get a super chat, I'm going to hop up off of here because it's been 30 minutes, and honestly, I'd like to go to Patreon for a bit, and then I got to get ready because Kurt's on his way up, and him and I are going to be doing some filming for our normal channel tonight, the non-live stuff. The next clutch cutting is probably going to be just one egg. Long story on that. Partially my fault, partially just luck. What I mean by that is it was... have I ever heard of Granddaddy Herps? Yeah, I've heard of Granddaddy Herps, and I think I've heard of AJ's too. I've talked to Granddaddy Herps a couple times. As a matter of fact, we might have featured him on a video really early on in our new show. You have to check. I think we did. 12 eggs is pretty awesome. So, what I was going to say though, oh yeah, so talking about the next clutch. It was one we had where we had, I want to say, 8 eggs total, 7 eggs total, something like that. I think it was maybe 7. I have to go back and look. With 5 were known to be slugs. Okay, 5 were known to be slugs. And they were all stuck together. So then when the 5 that we thought were slugs, they were full size. They weren't a little bit full size. So we always incubate them out. They obviously went bad. So I went to separate them out, and they were stuck pretty good. And one of my eggs pretty much bursted. So I tried to fix it, but it went south on me. So I killed one. 5 were toast, nowhere to go. And then they're going to be a horrible cutting because we had to leave the rest of them. I wasn't going to tear anything else up. So I've got one little egg there fighting to survive. It's got about 2 or 3 days left. So we'll see how it goes. And then after that, we'll be back to business, although there we go. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off of here, and I'm going to slide over to Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to check out the cryptic stuff.